We're asking people how do they feel about men who identify as women having the opportunity to compete in the WNBA.
Let's see what she says.
And if their policies should be inclusive.
I think the policy should be inclusive.
All right,
Wait
so
a
what
minute.
are your thoughts about the WNBA's recent controversy and their policies that allow men who identify as women to compete on the women's sports teams?
Come on, sister.
I don't believe that should be allowable, and I say that because I am a sports mom to a son that played D1AA football.
I don't care about women's sports, and neither do most Americans, because like the same reason why we don't get super excited about the Special Olympics, which they're very similar.
I mean, that was a 9-layer dip of just what the fuck, dude. When your voice changes, let's have a real conversation, okay?
She's gonna shame him. I cannot believe that we are still having this weirdo conversation. We're going to talk about the WNBA again, a league built specifically for women, somehow not having common sense enough to clearly protect its own women's league. 30 years ago, this would have sounded completely insane. But now, because the internet has bullied people out of basic reality, we now have women entertaining ideas that could sacrifice their very own spaces, their own opportunities, and their own rights without even realizing it. So today, we're going to take it to the streets to see what regular people actually think about this, because outside of the internet, people tend to be a lot more truthful in what they actually believe in. So let's see what they have to say, and let's get active. Without further ado.
There has been a lot of controversy lately surrounding the WNBA.
Sure has.
Sophie Cunningham recently made national news when she said that young women shouldn't have to compete against males on their sports teams. Now, 2 NBA players have declared for the WNBA 2027 draft. I'm Emma Dayton with the Daily Signal, and we're on the streets of DC asking people if it's okay for men who identify as women to play on women's sports teams and whether they would sign a petition to make it happen. Yeah, so
And I extensively covered this before. I'll leave a link to that video in the description box below in case you guys need to catch up.
There's been a lot of controversy lately about what's going on in the WNBA, and Sophie Cunningham spoke out and she said that males who identify as female shouldn't be allowed to compete in the league. What is your opinion? Do you think men who identify as women should be allowed to compete?
I don't think they should be able to compete. I mean, after all, it is a competition, you know, and it has to be at least somewhat fair. You know, it's going to be hard for others to compete if it's not a fair playing ground, you know?
Honestly, I would say no. Because I feel like there's things that men have that are just naturally they're born with that women do not have. So I feel like strength, speed, agility are all things that play into that. And I think it's completely unfair for a man to compete in a women's sports. The reason that it was created was for women to have their own sport, so I don't think it's right for a man to be able to take over that sport in any way.
Okay.
We're asking people how do they feel about men who identify as women having the opportunity to compete in the WNBA.
Let's see what she says.
And if their policies should be inclusive.
I think the policy should be inclusive. For me, I would have no issue with it. I know a lot of people do. I don't think that it's as big a deal as people want to make it out to be. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Is my feeling.
We're actually signing a petition today, and we're like passing it around. Sure. Would you be open to signing that and saying the WNBA should keep their policies inclusive?
Yeah, happy to. More than happy to, actually.
Thank you.
I had a feeling.
That I don't live in DC?
No, that's okay. You can just put where you're from.
Look at the Dolphins. Oh, gosh. I
Because
knew
a lot
it.
of people who oppose this say that, I guess it would harm women.
Well, when they have proof of that, then they can bring that to me, and I'll evaluate that objectively. Yeah. But yeah, I don't.
Yeah, already willing, ready, and able to sign name on dotted line, but you need proof to be brought to you that we're bigger, faster, stronger. Like, how much more proof do you need that it should not be combined? Mind you, by the way, the same way that she's signing her name on that pamphlet is the same way that she gets up and goes and votes. Uninformed, acting like their feelings are facts without doing a lick of research or living in reality.
High school 15-year-old boys beat the women's soccer team, the professional team. So shut the fuck up. This is stupid to say. This is stupid to say. It's not transphobic, homophobic. It's not genderphobic. It's not misogynistic. It's just a fact of physical nature.
I disagree with that.
Yeah. Well, we actually have two examples of some men who identify as women and who are competing, and they've announced they're competing in the draft.
Okay.
This is the first one.
Yeah, I heard about him.
You heard about him. What are your thoughts on Royce? Do you think he should be able to compete?
It's a big boy. Oh.
No.
All right,
Wait
so
a
what are your
minute.
thoughts about the WNBA's recent controversy and their policies that allow men who identify as women
sister.
to compete on the women's sports teams?
Come on, sister.
I don't believe that should be allowable, and I say that because I am a sports mom to a son that played D1AA football, and I know the strength of my son, and then I also have a daughter.
They're different.
I just think that I understand that you identify as a woman, but you were born a male, and the strength and the athleticism, it looks different. So I just don't think that it's fair.
Sophie Cunningham recently went viral. She made national headlines when she said that young girls shouldn't have to compete against biological men on their sports teams.
I 120% agree with that. 200% agree with that.
Last month, my Facebook page alone generated over $13,000. That number is so ridiculous. Why? Because I did absolutely no work in order to achieve that. But I put systems in play to earn that revenue. Now, there's a very important definition here. It's called resting revenue rate. How much money do you earn in a month at rest, not doing a damn thing? Because at least on my Facebook page alone, it's $13,000. Now, what's also crazy about that is I'm not a Facebooker. I'm a YouTuber. Majority of my money comes from YouTube and as well as ad sponsorships. The Facebook stuff is just the icing on the cake. But just the icing on the cake alone, I'm financially independent because it damn sure don't cost me $13,000 a month to live. Come copy my system of how I earn between $50,000 and $100,000 each and every month. Go to viral2value.com to pick up my curriculum and join my community where we also do live calls, Q&As, to answer all of your guys' questions on your content creation journey.
Now, imagine that her son wanted to compete on a women's sports team. How crazy would that be? Ironically, if they let Enos and as well as Royce play in the WNBA, that'll probably be sold out seats for a long time. You understand me? It'll probably be the biggest revenue generator since the WNBA has been the WNBA. I will pay money. No, I would buy courtside tickets to watch Royce tomahawk dunk on an Angel Reese or cross the lipstick off of a Brittany Griner. That would that would bring me great joy. I don't know about y'all, but let's continue.
Men need to be with men and women need to be with women. You cannot actually give a person a surgery and say that they're a woman now, or they're a man, or man. That's not right.
So you think the WNBA should just switch their policies to only allow biological women to compete?
Yes.
What would be your thoughts on it? Do you have any thoughts?
Come on, Mama.
The same way.
Okay.
Well,
come on.
I think that women should be able to compete in women's sports, and I also think that children shouldn't be subject to sex examinations to have to prove their gender. I also think that when we start vilifying certain groups of people, everybody suffers. Obviously, it's important that competition is fair, but using these edge cases tends to harm a greater group of people, and also, like, basketball's great. Everybody should be able to play basketball. And there should be safe spaces for everybody to do so.
The word jargon of having to beat around the bush like a les around the tush is absolutely insane. Isn't it also interesting how they all look the same? Like, this one looks like the daughter of this one right here, all right? The genealogy of people who believe this bullshit is actually similar. So, oh, by the way, this just in, apparently over there at the Piers Morgan podcast, people were going in.
You know, Piers, you have a formidable, very, very large, even online following in the United States, tens of millions of people. And we're here arguing about a sport that nobody wants to watch. Sports are about competition, about the best of the best. The fact that we're talking about women's sports, I don't care about women's sports, and neither do most Americans, because like the same reason why we don't get super excited about the Special Olympics, which they're very similar. I care about the best of the best. If a woman's really good and she could compete in male sports, then good, let her compete. Athletics shouldn't be about sex and gender. Athletics should be about competition of the greatest and the best. And if women can't compete, then maybe they weren't designed. That's not what their purpose is to be athletic and competitive and be on the market. So when we're talking about men in women's sports, the fact that we're even talking about this, who cares about women's sports? Republicans
let JoJo go. Let JoJo go. Elijah, I'm gonna give the final word to JoJo because I think she's ready to blow.
I think so.
I mean, that was a 9-layer dip of just what the fuck, dude. When your voice changes, let's have a real conversation, okay?
She's gonna shame him.
In the meantime, you can shut your stupid ass up about what. Look, you said your penis is small. I didn't say your penis is small, dude. I don't want to ever think about your penis. But for you
mentioned it 3 times in one sentence.
Compare. I mean, the whole thing. It was disgusting.
You're thinking.
Yo, Piers is losing. I've never seen Piers laugh and smile like this. This is how ridiculous that this is. Look at my man in the middle, the bass young man in the middle. Now, he's taking this from a completely different perspective. He's saying that women's sports shouldn't even exist, which is not where we started this video. But listen, he's saying all these things was the clear opportunity to come in here and at least try to combat some of his points with some degree of logic. And she's already talking about his dick, his little dick. Right, like, you cannot make this shit up. This is your time to shine, baby love, and you're just having an emotional sign language filled argument. Let's back this up a little bit.
Small. I didn't say your penis is small, dude. I don't want to ever think about your penis. But for you
mentioned it 3 times in one sentence.
Well, damn.
Compare. I mean, the whole thing. It was disgusting.
You're thinking.
Honestly,
she's blushing now. I'm sorry,
in like a 10-second soundbite to disparage people with disabilities and women in the same soundbite, and like you're sitting there in your high chair and all your smugness without a freaking talking about your tiny little. Dude,
that's 4. It's disgusting. You're mocking an autistic person. I'm diagnosed level 2 autistic, and I even got NDIS in Australia.
I was an autistic paraprofessional. As a matter of fact, I was a paraprofessional for autistic preschoolers.
Baby love, if you were, he wasn't talking ill of Special Olympics. He was just saying that it has less of a viewership. But, he just dropped the trump card on you that he's a level 2 autistic. Oh, your narrative is not that strong.
I'm not the one who was talking about. And by the way, remind me again when they started talking about how to have anal sex with children in school and when exactly they're making decisions about lobbing off parts of their body. I don't know who you are. I don't know how old you are. I am not mocking you for being autistic. I think that autistic people are incredible. Again, I spent almost 7 years of my life working with the most amazing children I have ever met, and it was one of the great blessings of my life.
Thank you for your service.
But you have managed.
That's gonna piss her off.
If that's supposed to be like mocking me, I don't appreciate that whatsoever.
I was appreciating what you did. Why are you?
But I don't take a lot of the things that you're saying seriously. You just said that women aren't cut out for sports. Like that's the kind of shit that makes
men.
That's not what you said.
No,
that's
I'm talking about professional sports. Professional sports.
No, it is the best of the best. Okay, listen.
Women are not the best.
Listen, we've got to wrap things up. You did. You know what? Caitlin Clark, for example, is one of the most thrilling sportswomen I've seen in a long time. Right. The whole reason I feel so passionately about this issue of not letting trans women compete in women's sport is so that people like Caitlin Clark can be genuine superstars in the women's sporting arena and not have to worry about 6'9" guys suddenly saying I'm a woman and coming in and taking their place on teams.
The argument.
That is what we're seeing happening more and more around the world at all levels of sport. But Jahat doesn't think it's happening. I simply say, Google it and surprise yourself.
And that's really where the crux of this argument is. By not defining what a real woman is, there's loopholes in there. All right. And those loopholes damage women, like in this clip. Now, the hulking specimen on the right, biologically born male and one world's strongest woman. That's this person smiles. Isn't that a Colgate smile right there? Man, that is pure and utter happiness, as if there wasn't any cheating conducted here. But the poor second place woman, I believe, is the reigning champ until the giant young man was allowed into the sport. It's just wild to watch the internet conversations from these equality freedom fighters. But meanwhile, this is the results of your errant thoughts. I can understand exactly why she walked away. She should be the one smiling on top of this podium.
Should be safe spaces for everybody to do so.
So we're actually going around and signing a petition to get support for men who identify as women, transgender women, to be able to compete in the WNBA. Would you be interested in signing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you can just print your name and then sign it. Here you go. So I just want to give you an example of some of the men and transgender women that this would support. Recently, a former NBA player said he would be announcing for the WNBA draft. This is Royce White. Are you open to him being allowed to compete?
I don't think that Royce White is living as a trans woman and actually is interested in playing women's sports.
How do you know?
I think that Royce White is looking to make a name for himself.
So would you still support allowing somebody who identifies as a woman to compete?
It's
like,
the same
how
thing.
How should the WNBA differentiate between him?
I mean, does Royce identify as a woman? Does his
Sometimes.
driver's license say female on it? I don't think so.
Driver's license?
So I think that's a starting step.
Yeah. Now, the policy is currently if somebody identifies as a woman, they're allowed to play, no questions asked.
Yeah.
So how can somebody better differentiate between him and another man?
Again, that's for the league to figure out.
What do you think should it be based on biological sex, sex at birth?
Well, I mean, what are you going to do about intersex people who have, differentiating chromosomes beyond XX and XY? Like, there's a lot of gray area here. And
This bar.
I'm not a biologist, and I'm also not a professional basketball player.
Yeah. So maybe a 6 foot tall man is allowed to compete if he's living as a woman?
That's not my business.
Do you think...
Wait, what? It's not your business, but you have a strong enough opinion about this, enough to put your name on the dotted line of a petition. Oh, I love Alan Edmonds. That's a great shoe store right there. Let's keep going.
Men who identify as women should compete in the WNBA, or transgender women should be allowed to compete?
No.
And why not?
Men are more physically stronger than women, period. For women and men to compete in sport, for women to compete in women's sport, no. They need to stop that.
Yeah. So do you think the WNBA should change their policies to reflect biological sex at birth?
Yes.
Well, there you have it. Most people think biological men shouldn't compete in the WNBA, and especially if you're a 6'10" man like Royce White or Nez Freedom.
Right. You can identify, but for damn sure it better be on your driver's license, and for damn sure you can't be over 6'3". Yeah, listen. Oh, by the way, the WNBA met yesterday to talk about all of this.
Before the game, you had a conversation with Sophie Cunningham.
I did.
If you want to share what you talked about, feel free. But more of my question is just how important is it to have those like in-person conversations with people? That
I think it's great. Yeah. I think it's great. I think both of us understand that we have platforms, and we both talked about wanting to, more than anything, educate. And there are some things that we have in common, and maybe some things you differ on, just like any issues. And I think it's how you handle things. And so, it was nice to be in person, for sure.
Now, this video comes from ESPN. All right, let's take a look at this article so we can learn more. A WNBA task force of team presidents and general managers met Wednesday and discussed transgender athletes, but did not arrive at any eligibility rules, according to a statement sent to ESPN by a league spokesperson. Today's meeting covered a wide range of topics, including ongoing discussions on transgender athletes and the continued hate and vitriol directed at players online. We will continue to engage all league stakeholders in the coming weeks and months. We will approach these important conversations thoughtfully and in alignment with the values of our league. There are no immediate eligibility matters affecting the WNBA, and we strongly denounce the bad faith efforts to use these topics to demean or marginalize others. Now, this statement is the league statements, but probably approved by WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, who I believe is who this woman is right here.
Andy Murray, he was been joking about myself and him playing a match. And I'm like, Andy, seriously, like, are you kidding me? Because for me, tennis and men's tennis and women's tennis are completely almost two separate sports. So I'm like, if I were to play Andy Murray, I would lose 6-0, 6-0, and 5 to 6 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, because it's true. It's honestly, true. It's a completely different sport. The men are a lot faster, and they serve harder, they hit harder. It's just a different game, and I love to play women's tennis, and I only want to play girls because I don't want to be embarrassed. I would not do the tour. I wouldn't do Billie Jean any justice. So Andy, stop it. Yeah. I'm not gonna let you kill me.
Although the league is demonizing these biologically born men that are trying to sign up for the WNBA, I love these conversations because, again, it goes against the narratives of some of the people we just saw in that interview video, and you take that out, which is things that people vote on, and now you show reality. Men's sports and women's sports exist separately for a reason. They were created because women, by and large, cannot compete athletically against men. The same reason why there's different eligibility requirements in most avenues that have some type of physical requirements. Think of the military. Ironically, the separation of these requirements are anything but equality, but were created so that women can have additional opportunities, can join certain components of workforces, that they can win champions, so that they can be recognized for their talent per their gender. Men obviously have considerable biological advantages, and the more that they try to ignore that, the more women that will get hurt. All right, though, guys, I appreciate you for rocking with me. Let me know what you think down in the comment box down below. Do you agree with the points of positions? Do you disagree with the points of positions? This also made me think I should maybe do some street interviews. I should take some damn viral topics and go up on the street, you understand me, in order to have some damn conversation. I actually think that's where I shine, baby. I ain't gonna hold you. I think that's where, I don't know, we gotta figure it out. You guys let me know what you think, if I should be out in the streets a little bit more. But I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Stay safe out there. Last but not least, viraltovalue.com. Link to it in the description box down below. If you are interested in getting my content system of how it is that I do all of this, so you can copy what it is that I do for your own success on your own commentary content journey. But I appreciate you guys. Again, love you so much. Without you, this would not be possible. Keep continuing to share the content. Make sure you're still subscribed, like the video. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Until next time. Peace.
So, without further ado, MTR, cut through the BS like we in charge. No cap with the rappers like steel bars. I'm packing and rapping like here we are. Here we are. Mediocre tutorial reviews. Like, comment, share my views. Come up and I paid my dues. Big step in my black way shoes. MTR, he break it down, yeah, it's MTR. Check out the sound with his MTR. No one put it down like it's MTR.